The question is this. It is no secret that Kansans value their freedom. Do you wear a mask, and do you expect others to wear a mask in different settings?
I got my mask here. Hold on. It's in one of these pockets. I think we are a free country, and I think that if there is a very definite health vulnerability, then people ought to be wearing masks. But we ought to be able to let folks. I think the hypocrisy of some of these rules, where I would be traveling around the state, and we couldn't congregate at our churches, but Home Depot, you couldn't find a parking spot. Where's the consistency there? So I think people ought to have the right. We have a free country. People ought to have a right to wear a mask if they want to. If they don't want to wear a mask, they shouldn't have to wear a mask. But you don't need to congregate with someone who you feel is going to contaminate you.
Thank you for the response. The question now moves to Mr. Kobach. Same question. You wear a mask, and what about others around you?
No, I haven't been wearing a mask for at least a week. If I were to travel on a plane, sure, I'd put a mask on. If I had some reason to go on a New York subway, yeah, I'd put a mask on at that point. But no, I believe that we should have the freedom to make the choice, and I don't like the mask shaming that is going on the left. Now look, this whole COVID thing has reflected the worldview of Democrats, progressives, versus us Republicans and conservatives. Their worldview has been revealed to be all about control. Have you noticed that all of the states that have the most oppressive, totalitarian rules in place are blue states? And the states that allow freedom, that allow choice, are red states. What our party's soul is about is choice, liberty, freedom, but responsibility. So if you're going to choose not to wear a mask, you take responsibility for that choice. This whole episode has shown just at the core of the Democrat soul, of the progressive soul, is controlling you, controlling this country. But I have learned, by the way, that if I go participate in a riot, I can not wear a mask and I won't have any risk at all from COVID. You've learned this, right? Now, if I go into a church, apparently, and don't wear a mask, then I'm going to be in real trouble. Did you hear that there were over 1,000 so-called experts and stakeholders who actually wrote a letter to the federal government saying that if you are protesting racism, you are not likely to contract COVID-19? Serious. Tucker Carlson talked about it on his show. This lunacy from the left has to be rejected, and rejected firmly.
Thank you for your response. We now move the question to Mr. Marshall. Your thoughts.
Well, a little Kansas common sense goes a long ways. Of course, I'm not going to be in favor of any federal mandates that state that you have to wear a mask. I think that it is up to the individual. At the same time, I think that a place of business should have the right to say that we need you to wear a mask when you come in. And so I honor the people whose house I'm going to, whose place of business I'm going to. They may be trying to protect a person with some type of an underlying illness. There may be something else going on as well. When you went to a nursing home, I'd suggest you put a mask on. So I think there's places to do it. If you're around sick people getting treatment for cancer as well. But certainly we do have a crisis of our civil liberties. And it does upset me that the Democrats, especially Democrat governors, want to attack our civil liberties. And that it's during a time of crisis especially that these are so important to each and every one of us. And I'm so proud that we have a president that's going to stand up for our rights. And then we have an attorney general with teeth that's going to stand up and protect our rights as well. And help us, if there is a second surge of this virus, to allow us to decide who should and shouldn't be open for their jobs. There's absolutely a double standard by the national media. As a physician, it just drives me crazy. So listen, I think a little Kansas common sense goes a long ways, like most things, and we'll leave it there.
Thank you for the response. We do have another question now. Rural hospitals.